What is going down, squad? I just want to double check as we get going that you guys can hear me okay. Um, Drop a thumbs up or say we can hear you, Brad, if you can. Drop that in the chat. We see the SDS is coming through, but I do want to make sure that you guys got me today. Um, let's see. Okay, we're seeing some thumbs up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it going. Welcome, Sourdough Squad. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh boy, we got lots of stuff to talk about. I'm excited. You guys can hear me. You can see me. A little bit of 4K Ginger Brad going. We got the freestyle mic. Oh, so it's gonna get it's gonna get interesting today with this setup. But I'm excited. Um, Clearly, lots of news. We're going to talk about what's going on at the combine. We're going to talk about mock drafts that have been dropped today. We're going to talk about me not selecting a cornerback early in my mock draft, and I accept all the disdain that comes along with it. We're going to talk about combine. Oh, got lots of good stuff to talk about. So let's get it cracking. Of course, we're going to start with the biggest news to come from today. That news surrounds, guess what? The quarterback. So Jimmy Garoppolo is being discussed yet again in the news cycle. You had Adam Schefter report today that Jimmy Garoppolo is getting significant trade interest in quotations, not just, I feel and sense that Garoppolo's getting significant trade interest. No. Schefter, in quotes, per sources, aka Souses, are telling Shefty that there's a lot of interest in Jimmy Garoppolo, and I imagine that to be true. I imagine there are going to be teams that are going to be knocking on the door about Jimmy Garoppolo, but what came with one of the reports today was that he still hasn't had off-season surgery yet. And they also talked about how the potential of, Garoppolo still needing to get the surgery. They outlined the timeline. The timeline said he'll likely miss OTAs. He'll likely miss minicamp, but not to worry. He will be ready to go for training camp. So if you're a team, is there maybe, a little concern that he technically isn't ready to go? Maybe, but I think in all reality, uh, they're not going to be too worried about it. To me, it comes across as an injury that people are fully aware of. They understand what comes with it. It's not like like a crazy structural damage shoulder that needs insane, reconstructive surgery. He just needs to get a little cleanup done, fix some stuff in that shoulder because we know he played on it. So I don't think teams are going to be too worried about it. So I personally, my opinion and my reaction to what he's saying is I don't see anything to me that would indicate an issue. I could imagine a team still swinging for the fences, giving something up for Jimmy Garoppolo. Harris is asking, "What's our like goal today?" I don't know. Let's come up with this as a chat. What did we do yesterday? I think we kept it simple. We hit about 100. I think our original goal was 100 likes on the video. I wouldn't mind doing the same. Maybe we do 100 back-to-back days. Again, it's off season, all right. It's off season. It's not like the glory days back when we're hopping on live and we had millions of people in here. What's good, kid? Kid Drew holding down Twitch. We see you, my boy. Hey man, I'm fine. Harris says let's go for the stars. He's saying 200. I get a lot of 150s in the chat. Let's go for the 150 like goal. We'll see if we get there. If not, no worries. We're gonna blame Harris if we don't get there. That's what we're gonna do. No, just kidding, Harris. But the question that I think, and we understood that this information, the talking points would likely heat up around the combine, right? And sure enough, like clockwork, here they are. Here they are. What's good, family? Thank you for stopping in, showing love. We appreciate you. Harris is going to take one for the team. That's a true team player. SDS gang vibes only. So to be honest, it's interesting, the timing. I think the timing is indicating that things are moving on. Things are moving behind the scenes. I think we'd all feel good with assuming that and believing that there are conversations being had and there is real interest in Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, of course, the 49ers fans specifically have been, debating Garoppolo and his value for quite some time. I'm interested to see what you guys think that Jimmy Garoppolo's value is right now. And drop it in the chat. I want to see what you guys are thinking. In my mock draft today, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but in my mock draft today, I said that the 49ers, I didn't say they should or could. In my proposed mock trade of Jimmy Garoppolo, I said the Indianapolis Colts 48th overall and 157th overall, which is a 5th-round pick, to the 49ers straight up for Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. Again, the 49ers traded a 2nd-round pick to get Jimmy Garoppolo. And again, you put your GM cap on, you start looking at value. Did we actually get our return on investment? And I'm going to go ahead and say quarterback that led the franchise to a Super Bowl and in another on the brink of a Super Bowl. Then you're able to trade him for what you got him for and get a little bit in return. I think that's fair. You're able to actually look at it from an economic standpoint and say, hey, we got a return on investment. Now, was it the exact ROI that we were looking for? Probably not, because the ideal ROI that probably John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were thinking about when they potentially made the move was, we want a Super Bowl and we want a franchise quarterback. So clearly that's not what has necessarily occurred. Again, if Jimmy's the guy, you're not trading him. But that he's not the guy. He's not. They made that clear with the trade to go get Trey Lance. So if you can get more than what you bought him for, with the wear and tear that Jimmy Garoppolo has, we understand. I think one of the proven things that we've seen from Jimmy Garoppolo is that why they've made the move in the first place, he couldn't stay healthy. And if he could stay healthy, maybe we're not having this conversation. If he could stay healthy and in 2020 the 49ers were able to get into the playoffs, we're probably not having this conversation. But that's what it is. It's where we stand. Currently, Ellis says, Brad, my prediction is Jimmy goes for a 2022 third and 2023 fourth. Book it. I like it. I mean, I'll take it. I think we get a little more, but I'll take it. When we talked about it, we did some mock trades before. Honestly, our mock trade that we did, I think, last week was legendary. Creed said a 2nd and 7th would be dope. I imagine it would be dope. Please Please let me know if you are having audio issues. I am using a different mic, so please let me know. As you can see, I'm having, again, more technical difficulties, but we won't let that stop us. We are going to continue, but let me know if you are having issues with the audio. I'm going to keep trying to get my original mic hooked up, but StreamYard isn't enjoying it. Says, yeah, it sounds weird, not going to lie. It sounds like Brad's drowning. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. It is clear with slight static. I apologize. We've gotten a couple of the technical difficulties figured out. But for whatever reason, StreamYard is not accepting the mic that I've used every single day to do lives for. I don't even understand why, but that is what's going on. So I'm using a different mic, but it's okay. You're gonna have to suffer through it, I guess, today. We got the McDonald's microphone today. Well done. Well done. But like I said, we're not going to let it stop us. The show must go on. And I needed a mic, so I found one. Might be a little whack, but that's all right. Back to the quarterback conversation, though. I'm sure you guys are with me and definitely recall the situation surrounding Tom Brady. Oh, I know you guys remember that. I know you guys remember us like, is this viable? I had people yelling at me in my comments on Instagram telling me I'm like stupid because I don't think Tom Brady was going to come to the 49ers. Oh, look, there's multiple of us on the screen. There we go. We got some stuff today. Today, Bruce Arians went to the podium and was asked about trading Tom Brady. And he was asked pretty much point blank, like, would you help, facilitate a trade? Would you maybe, waive his rights, allow him to go walk freely onto a different team? Any of that stuff. Would you allow that? He said no, straight up. He said no. That's bad business. That's a quote. Bad business to kind of allow Tom Brady to dictate what and where he wants to go, where he wants to play, and just assuming that an organization will bend over backwards to allow a player to freely leave while he's under contract. So Bruce Arians said, no, that's not happening. We're not going to help him facilitate anything to not play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that is a very interesting thought process to the Tom Brady situation. And then when he was asked about what it would take to get Tom Brady, is 5 first-round picks. 5 first-rounders for Tom Brady. So essentially and I don't believe he's being 100% truthful, but thank you. Bruce is being King Petty. And as a member of the Petty gang, I can totally respect his answer, because he's basically telling all of the media who are going to ask him the questions about Tom Brady, what's it going to take, is it going to happen? He's basically saying, go F yourself. And we like that energy from Bruce Arians. Wouldn't expect anything less from the man. But again, we've talked about Tom Brady and the prospects of him going to the 49ers for a better part, well, it feels like a month almost since the season started, off season started. And he was like, if I would have asked any of my followers on Instagram, like, I think a lot of people are starting to like convince themselves that Tom Brady had real viability of coming to the 49ers this year and playing for them. Again, that was continued to be perpetuated by guys like Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk, who also last week came out and said, oh, I just have a feeling Tom Brady is going to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers in 2022. Well, there's a lot of things that have to happen for that to even be a reality. And part of that reality is Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers agreeing to, one, trade the rights of Tom Brady, two, like facilitate and work something out, because again, he's under contract. The Tampa Bay Bucks have no, like, if we're really looking at this from a football like business side of things, they don't have to do a thing for Brady. Now, I know fans believe he deserves that respect to be able to pick and choose. He got him the Super Bowl, let him go wherever. But again, more of what the Bruce Arians comments dictate towards 49ers, at least fans, I'll say, it's that do not hold your breath for Tom Brady to play for the San Francisco 49ers in 2022. That's all I'm saying. That's my takeaway. My takeaway is that, oh yeah, Tom Brady can be had, but we're not taking any hometown discounts. We aren't going to, bend over backwards because he's the GOAT and he brought us a championship. No. That's not what we're going to do. So, again, that makes the situation surrounding a potential reunion, or not a reunion, but, Brady coming to play with his, childhood team. Oh, man, be able to play for the team in which, Joe Montana played, his idol. Nah. It's not going down. 49ers paid too much for Trey Lance. They just did. Too much for Trey Lance. They already gave up the first rounders. They don't got any first rounders left. So my personal opinion and I guess takeaway from Bruce Arians' comments were, nope, not going to happen. Doesn't mean it can't happen. I'll always say never. There is a world that exists where Tom Brady is playing for the 49ers in 2020. But there are also a lot of different worlds that come along with that, and alternate universes as well. There's an alternate universe where I'm the quarterback for the 49ers. So, just saying. I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat if you guys think Tom Brady's might have an path to get to the 49ers. I don't think he does. Hey, we're right here with you, my guy. We are right here with you, which is why we are going to pivot off of Tom Brady. But like I've discussed, it is something that we've spent time on. So it feels appropriate to be able to discuss it a little further. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited because it's Combine Week. I'm very happy, kind of get entrenched back into football, back into evaluating. It is fun to talk about rumors. It is. It's fun to kind of speculate and kind of, toy with the idea of some possibilities. But overall, it does feel like the 49ers are going to be moving forward with Trey Lance. I can't imagine being too upset about that, but I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Let's look and pick apart my mock draft today. Let's look and pick it apart. You guys feel free to tell me it's not good, or it's the best thing you've ever seen. Either one, I'm expecting it. Uh, this isn't my first mock draft rodeo, so I understand. This could be the worst thing you've ever seen, and I'm okay with that. But let's get into it because it actually ties into kind of what we were talking about a little bit with some of the reports that came out today, because I think we all would at least agree, maybe not, but it feels like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded soon. It feels like it could be at the combine. It feels like, you see a lot of signal shots via guys like Schefter and Rappaport. It's very important to remember that, information doesn't just come from the teams. The player has an entire team of people behind them looking out for their best interest. So you will get conflicting narratives. Again, very, very similar to if you guys don't remember the initial report when Garoppolo we were alerted that he had the injury. Kyle Shanahan talked to the media, said he had like a sprain or something, and then right as the interview was over, Schefter drops explicit information regarding the details of the injury. So again, just the point there is there's many ways this information and stuff circulates, but it does feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be traded. They like to leak things early to start getting people prepped and or send signals to other front offices or other agents, like we're about to make a move, get your last offer in, things like that. So with Schefter's report from today, it could signal that the 49ers are preparing to trade Jimmy Garoppolo this week or maybe next week. So that's kind of what it feels like. I'm going to be on high alert. I'm going to be on high alert for a potential Jimmy Garoppolo trade. Oh, the mic's cutting out. I apologize. I'm having mic issues today. Hopefully get that figured out here by the next live. No, this is common. I had to switch mics because StreamYard decided it doesn't recognize the mic that I've been using for all this time. So I had to switch last minute. Not the best case scenario, but hey, it is what it is. At this point, you guys have learned to live with some of the difficulties, and you guys are the best. I appreciate you. I'm gonna try. I'm still lightweight trying behind the scenes to get it going. But while I'm behind the scenes trying to get it going, let's still talk about the trade. So I proposed this trade. I like this trade personally. You don't have to like it. You can tell me what trades you like. But I do like the idea of getting a second round pick in return for Jimmy Garoppolo. I definitely think there are avenues and opportunities for this to potentially be a little bit higher and or be a little bit lower. So this feels like a safe baseline. So this is what I proposed in the mock draft that I posted today. It's my first mock draft of the year that I have posted. We went with this particular mock draft trading Jimmy Garoppolo to the Colts for the 48th overall pick and the 157th overall pick, which is a fifth rounder. So 2 and a 5. 2 and a 5 is what we got. In my trade, could go either way though. Could go either way. Tony said, we wouldn't miss a Brad live, even if it meant watching in sign language. I can do the live in sign language. I know sign. So we can do that. I'll sign the whole thing out if you want. It's been a while, but I could do it. But I appreciate you guys rocking with your boy. So anyways, the whole point, whether you argue about what compensation is viable or not, he's worth something. It's crystal clear whether the 49ers fan base wants to agree to it or not. Jimmy Garoppolo is worth assets to people outside the organization. So that being said, he could go for higher than we anticipated. He could go for lower than we anticipated. It's honestly going to be a bit of a crapshoot, but I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Oh, thank God. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test, mic check 1 2. We about to grab JC and we're gonna do what it do. I got no bars, so I'm not even gonna try JC. Not even gonna try to replicate the bars that you be spitting. Oh, there we go. Let's go. I told you I'll be behind the scenes working through the technical difficulties. Oh my goodness. There we go. I know you missed those sultry sounds of the gingerbeard voice. I got no bars, bro. No bars. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna stutter through it half the time. So not gonna happen. I might have to bring JC on though for a guest appearance. JC really got bars though. Like I'm like on some real. Like that boy spit. He's smooth. But this is what I trade. And so with that trade, the 49ers have an opportunity to grab a impact player in the second round. And I went edge. And if you've been following along with me in my journey, even going back to last year, I am on the hunt for an edge. On a hunt for an edge. I wanted Azeez Ojulari last year in the second round. Azeez Ojulari ended up being one of the top edge defenders. So I finally put it to bed, and I grabbed me Arnold Ebukati. Let's go. I think this dude's dope. I think he's got legitimate skills, and I think one of my favorite things about Ebukati is his production went up. He played at Temple for 3 years. He transferred to Penn State. And when he transferred to Penn State, what are you going to look at? You're like, how, just from at least a box score standpoint, how did his production fare? Was he able to at least replicate the numbers that he did when he came from Temple? No, he doubled them. It went through the roof. So that's a good sign. It's a good test. And I really, really like the skill set and the traits and the motor. And now I don't necessarily see Ebukati as like a base 3-down defensive end in the NFL. I see him more as a speed specialist, pass rusher off the edge. He can play base downs and he can do those types of things, but being 6'3" and being a little bit smaller, kind of like Azeez Ojulari. Azeez Ojulari is about 6'3". He wasn't one of these 6'5", 6'6", basically shooting forwards coming off the edge. I like that he's compact. I like that especially the leverage is there. Your low man wins on the line of scrimmage, and he's already low, and he's got the strength, he's got the power, he's got the hand moves, burst, feet, bend, everything that you want in an edge rusher. So he's a guy that I really like. I could see him being someone that the 49ers add, and you get this on the opposite side of Nick Bosa And I just think of what Chris Corsack has been able to do with the defensive line rotation, and you get someone like this on the opposite side of Nick Bosa, then we're freaking talking, baby. Then we're getting sack production, baby. Watch the hands. It's so simple. He gets to a spot, get the hands out of here. This isn't even like technically advanced. It's just a simple hand swipe. Again, we watch this stuff with Trent Williams. We're breaking down Trent Williams tape all the time. You got to have hands. You see where he's already got the balance. When you talk about bend, like this is what people are saying. Bend. When you get to that point in the pocket and you got to bend and cut it in, beautiful. Get home. Find the point, find the depth in the pocket, and then turn up. That is your goal as a defensive end. Find the point within the pocket, then turn up. Smash those hands away. It's easy. That's cake. That's cakewalk. But he has a multitude of moves. He's got a rip move, he's got a club, and then he's got counters off to the inside of all these things with speed to power. So then you start to see all the bag of tricks be pulled together through a game, and you're like, ooh, that's nice. That is nice. So I like him. This is more of a dream. It's more of a dream that we get him there, but hey, that's what mocks are. Mocks are for me to play general manager and to have dreams. In the second round, pick 61, it actually gave me a lot of flexibility into who I potentially would have liked to pick here. And I decided to go with Carl Joseph. Carl Joseph has been a guy, he's one of the first guys that I started to watch kind of throughout this process. Carl Joseph, or Kirby Joseph to me, uh, wrong Joseph. He's a guy that I would love to see him play next to Jimmy Ward. I really would. This dude's got an insane wingspan. I believe it's 6'8" is what his wingspan goes to, and you can see like not only okay, he got long arms, cool, but in some of the picks that he had, you could see the length that he brought to the table really show out. And this is just an example of him playing single high. Again, I think when we look at Talanoa Hufanga, I like Talanoa, and I don't want that to be twisted with the selection of Kirby at pick 61 because you are spending a bit of a premium on a safety prospect, and you would imagine he'd come in and play right away. But some of the things that we saw with D'Amico Ryans, we saw them play three safeties at a time. And with Jimmy Ward, he's getting up there in age. Hopefully he gets a contract extension. Talanoa Hufanga is a rookie. I think he's proven to play exceptionally well inside the box, in the flats around the line of scrimmage. He does do well in coverage as well, but we do see a little limitation, and I don't think it would be a disservice for the 49ers to still bolster up that position, because again, we saw how fast things can change if someone does go down from the safety position. He got 5 interceptions last year. He had the highest coverage grade, 90.6 in the from a Big Ten safety since Malik Hooker in 2016. So he's been doing work, and I've talked to people offline who've been scouting him, and they hold him in high regard too. So he's a guy that I just really like. I like his playing style. I like the way he gets after it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And if you guys been rocking with your boy, you know this one. This one would make me super excited. I would love to get Donovan West in a 49er jersey. I could see him starting at guard. I could see him starting at center. The ideal fit for Donovan West would be at center, but like I said, he can play multiple positions. He can do multiple things. Here you're going to see him casually get 3 bodies on the ground. It's a screen, so he's inviting them upfield, but you can see he gets this guy in the back. One goes down. Another guy runs into him, doesn't even affect West. Both get on the ground, and then you see West get out on his track and then make contact. Number 3 ends up on the turf. There are plenty of examples of his skill set. There are plenty of examples of his skill set, whether it's pulling, whether it's getting to second level, whether it's reach blocking. He can pass set it. He can do everything. And I really like it. And I'm starting to believe, honestly, I don't know if 93 is going to work. Again, so when I first got my eyes on him, I didn't have a baseline of where he is, like in rankings, but I was like, I would not be surprised if he gets taken in the mid-second round. I'm starting to feel like he could be a mid-second rounder. I'm starting to feel like that, and especially if he goes to the combine and blows it up and puts up some good numbers. I could definitely see Donovan West creeping into the second round range. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I see him as a big riser in this situation, actually, because so many teams run zone oriented, blocking schemes, and not everyone is ultra natural at that. He's very natural. He's very natural in all zone concepts, and he would fit like a glove in any team who's running zone schemes. So that could make him potentially valuable to a lot of teams. Now, this is one where I was running PFF's mock draft simulator. Now, I would go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't think Christian Watson falls out of the top 100. I think Christian Watson is a top 100 player in this draft. I think he's only going to continue to skyrocket his value, especially with a showing at the Senior Bowl. But you can see just from this clip alone why he will be a top 100 pick. But hey, they dropped him. They had him there at 131, and I said, you're crazy, and I'm taking him. So I took him in my mock. But again, this clip alone will tell you why he is not going to be sliding out of the top 100. You really don't find guys that have this type of size at 6'5" that can move like that. Again, this looks like someone who's possibly 6'1", has some speed to him, has the ability in space to make people miss, set up blocks. This dude's 6'5". That man is 6'5". He would be the tallest wide receiver on our team. He'd be taller than George Kittle. This guy's taller than George Kittle. So again, this even though I picked him at 131, I picked him there because he slid. And just like the draft, we don't know who's going to slide. We don't know who's going to go up. So I played the board as it came. The board gifted me Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. This dude's good. He's good. The athletic, just the athletic ceiling that he has at 6'5" is going to make him very valuable. Very, very, very valuable. Let's see. I have a question for you guys, since I see some high definition stuff. Is the playback of the film coming through smoother than it used to? That's another question for the chat. Is the film that we're watching, I know I've watched it back on some playbacks, it gets a little choppy. Is it a little smoother for you guys? Is Christian moving? Is his suddenness on full display today? Oh, I love it. I think that it was the laptop. I'm gonna go out here on a limb. And say I think my major issue is my laptop, not necessarily not necessarily the Wi-Fi. Oh my goodness, we may have found the cause, but we're getting there, baby. We're getting there, baby. Let's go. Smooth 4K Christian Watson. Let's go, dog. Uh, but kind of like what JC was saying a little bit earlier, uh, this to me, like, okay, let's say at 93, because I think we can all agree fourth round, 131 seems like a stretch to be able to get Christian Watson. It just really feels like he'll be gone before that. But maybe in this realm, maybe he slides to 93, could be in the conversation at 61. Again, the 49ers really only have two wide receivers under contract currently. So there is a potential that, okay, maybe they do see a spot for Christian. And one of the things that I like about that is that if they were to draft Christian, is to me, it signals at least a slight belief that Trey Lance is a guy that they want to build around. They want to put weapons that he's familiar with. Get him a guy. And it's funny when you look at Christian Watson's stats. When you look at Christian Watson's stats, he actually was on pace to have better statistical output with Trey Lance in 2019 opposed to what he did last year. I believe with about 9 less passes from Trey Lance, he put up almost identical statistics in 2019 than Christian did last year with his current quarterback. So there's clearly a connection. I mean, you can see it on the stat sheet. It jumps out at you on the stat sheet. Christian had a solid year in 2019 with Trey Lance. He took a dip in 2020, but hey, they didn't play in 2020. And then in 2021, he matched what he did in 2019 with Lance. So you'd only imagine, oh, you get Lance and this guy together again, they're only going to duplicate that chemistry, only to get better. That would be fun, man. That would be fun. This one, I don't know how you guys feel about this one. I love this one. And the more that I think about it, like if the 49ers can somehow get James Cook in the 5th round, again, this value to me is beautiful. I don't know what you guys think about James Cook, but personally, I am. I so let me take a step back. I paid attention to how the 49ers used JaMycal Hasty last year. It didn't matter who was up or who was available. If JaMycal Hasty was healthy, there was a clear third down role available. And what that third down role was, pass protection. Not only was it pass protection, but you got your occasional routes being ran. We got a handoff a couple times in that role. But when I look at it, I don't see I like JaMycal Hasty. I actually do like JaMycal Hasty, but I do see the limitations that come along with JaMycal Hasty. And I envision taking JaMycal Hasty's role plus his ability to be a returner and swap him with a guy like James Cook. And then you take that third down back role and put it with a guy that has the skill set of him. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Like Cook. I mean, so there's a lot of highlights. I chose to put a highlight of Cook lined up out wide and to see in relation to how he was able to cook, pun intended, this defensive back from Michigan. I got to make sure I don't play it too long. I don't want to get cut from the stream. Okay, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Let me get that out of the way. I forgot YouTube doesn't like you sharing broadcasts, so don't want to get in trouble there. But I see this role. I see this role for Cook in his skill set because I see a guy who can run in the zone read scheme easily. He's got the patience. He has burst. He has the physicality and toughness. Uh, he's got the cuts. He has the ability to set up blocks, which is probably my favorite thing. He has the ability to set up blocks, which is clearly what you need when you're running zone schemes. And we saw guys like Trey Sermon struggle a little bit. Well, I see a guy like James Cook having an ability to be able to come into the offense and have an immediate role. That's why I took him in the 5th. To me, I see a plus traits running back. Clearly, he's got the bloodline. We all know who Dalvin Cook is, and we know how good Dalvin Cook is. And he might be a little bit smaller, at least looks smaller than Dalvin. But to get a guy of this talent in the 5th round who could come in and be an immediate impact player as a rookie in a 3rd down role, he can pass protect. He sells out in pass protection. Again, he is legit ass threat to attack out of the backfield. So that is a huge thing that I would love to see utilized from a player of this skill set, whether it is Cook or it's a completely different player. I think a role that does exist or an archetype of a player that does exist is the 3rd down back. Again, we've seen JaMychal Hasty be that 3rd down back, but in my head, I'm like, how do we make that position more effective? How do we get someone in there that has a little bit more, I guess, explosiveness? And I see Cook as that, but there's going to be a laundry list of options. It doesn't have to be James Cook, but it is an archetype that I am hunting for in this draft. And again, it's the wide back. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for wide backs. I'm looking for guys that can do it in the run game, but can also do it out of the passing game. I'm looking for a wide back. I'm looking for that, whether it's a wide receiver who's converted to running back or running back that's converted to wide receiver. I'm looking for that back and or player to be able to be plugged into that 3rd down role, can still run it, can still catch it, can still pass block, but gives you so much more explosiveness that then is going to put safeties and linebackers on notice. That's what I want. That is what I want. So particularly with this role, I found a guy who fits the role that I see that I believe can get better, and I found immense value. So that's how I'm looking at it. I see a role that needs to be filled, it needs to be upgraded, and we found value. That feels like a win to me. But it's going to be interesting to see where Cook goes. I think the only reason why he's even close to that 5th round range is just because running backs have been devalued. Oh, let's go. We're close. I bet we could do that right now. We are 11 likes away from 100. Can we do it? Can we do it? Hey, hit over 49ers Amateur Draft Scout. He's got some highlights. Hop on. Tap in with the gang. He got some highlights. He's posting highlights. Go check it out. You're all good, my brother. I appreciate you saying that you're not going to self-promote, but then you have to understand the reverse psychology behind that. I appreciate people who don't self-promote. I appreciate people who promote through organic engagement. That's what I appreciate. So the fact that he said he's not going to self-promote, he's getting a full-blown ad. Go sub to 49ers Amateur Scout. We appreciate you. We appreciate the wherewithal to not self promote, but you get a promote. You get a promotion right here. There you go. And I feel it though. I feel it. That's a W. Oh, and we get 100. Let's go. Look at us. Look at the sourdough squad. This is why we build different. All right. I think the original goal that the chat set was 150 though. So we still got some work to do. Still got some work to do, but I have faith. I have faith. 150 coming in hot. I love it. All right. Haskell Garrett. So to me, 5th round actually feels appropriate. 5th round for Haskell Garrett feels appropriate. I see a guy who is a project. I see a guy channeling my inner Chris Collinsworth. Now, here's a guy that has some baseline talent and skill set. There's some baseline talent and skill set here. I like what he can do from the interior. He has baseline pass rush moves. He has a good baseline athletic build and measurables. Haskell Garrett, to me, looks like a player in the NFL. However, I see a guy that needs a lot of work. I see a guy that has the potential to become double the player that he is now. But again, that is imperative on who he goes to, what team he goes to, and how they develop him. If you draft this guy and you put him on a team that's mediocre, they're constantly rotating coaches, he's probably going to be a little bit of mediocre. But I really see a guy that in the NFL could be just middle tier, just like eventually be a rotational defensive lineman. He has a skill set, but to do more. I really see this guy being a developmental guy because even though he could be a baseline rotational player as a rookie, I project him as being a player that should be able to develop into a potential full-time starter because I like the traits. I like the baseline measurables. I like what I see from the first step quickness. I like the hands. I like the power that I see. I like a lot of what he brings to the table. There's something that's lacking though. There's something that's lacking, and whether that's dedication, I sense it. Again, I tell you guys all the time, I scout off vibe. My vibe of Haskell is he's not playing to his full potential. My vibe on Haskell is he's not playing to his full potential. And if a defensive coach could unlock him, he could be a guy. He could be a guy in the NFL that we hear from. But my vibe meter, it's a little bit in the yellow. It's in the yellow. Again, I like his traits. I think he's a plus traits guy from an IDL standpoint. However, my vibe meter, it's in the yellow a little bit. It's in the yellow. So we'll see. But I do have him as a developmental guy. Oh man, you should see my comments on Instagram because I posted half the mock draft on the post, and so I stopped it right when I selected a cornerback. And the entire comment section, oh my god, he didn't take a cornerback. Wait, I think I have the reaction. I think I kind of had the reaction to the. Here it is. This is it. This is what my my comment section looks like on Instagram when they see that I didn't select a cornerback in the top 100. They were like, what? This guy's crazy. This guy's nuts. How does he not take a quarterback in the number 1 overall, even though he don't have the number 1 overall pick? How do you not do that? What? Meanwhile, this is me. Me not taking a cornerback early. Look at the 49er scouts. Look at John Lynch hyping your boy up. Let's go. You know why they're hyping your boy up? Because they know the plan. They know the plan, Stan. If the 49ers are going to go after cornerback help and they want quarterback help to be beneficial next year, then they better address it in free agency. They better address it in free agency. Again, we saw what happened when the 49ers drafted a cornerback in the 3rd round, Ambry Thomas. When they got Diamador Lenore in the 5th round. Oh, we're going to have some impact players. We got lucky with Ambry, boy. We got lucky with Ambry that Kyle was at his wit's end with freaking Josh Norman that he wouldn't put Ambry in. Oh yeah, I lost followers. I do this every time. So I'm a little bit of a different beast because I've polled my fan base. I know exactly what my fan base wants to see. Do you know what my fan base wants to see? You know what my followers want to see? They want to see cornerback early. I know for a fact my followers want to see a cornerback early. That's like perfect for me because I'm just going to go against the grain. I'm like, oh, you want this? You want this? Oh, not today. Not today. But in all honesty, I think the 49ers should address cornerback in free agency if that's what they want to do. I don't think grabbing a guy who is not Sauce Gardner, who is not McDuffie, who is I could live with Kyler Gordon. But like if I'm not getting a top tier guy, then it's a crapshoot. We have no idea if they will turn out, if they will be what we think they are. That's why you go to free agency and say, hey, we need a starting nickel corner. Perfect. Go get a nickel corner who has actually done it in the NFL. You drafted one last year in the 5th round, and you wouldn't put him on the field. So to me, I don't believe that you are going to draft a cornerback with the thought process that, hey, they need to start year 1. We saw it with Akello. Like, Emmanuel Mosley is a freaking, like, outlier because he's undrafted free agent. So I'm just saying. There's a reason why I didn't draft the cornerback early because I want my cornerbacks to be effective year 1. And I don't have too much faith that the 49ers are going to select a cornerback in the draft who will be impactful year 1. But that is just on experience. That could change. Hey, we all grow. We all improve. We all get better. Who's to say they can't? But that's just how I see it. So I'm not going to spend high on a cornerback. No, sirree, Bob. That's not my job. I don't do that. I draft center and guards. I thought you knew that. Sorry. Mac Dre took over me for a second. Jimmy G will be a saint, says Paul III. I like that. That's not bad. Oh, 100%. See, that's why, like, you have to, if you really are trying to do this and project, you don't scout what you want. You scout what you like but you're doing it through a lens of like how Kyle, how Adam Peters, the traits you can start to, I think, I forget. I think one of the things that I really liked, that I really, really liked to hear from Bobby. Oh, we didn't even talk about Bobby Turner. We didn't even talk about Bobby Turner. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's get through this. We'll talk about Bobby Turner. We'll talk about how the impact of the coaching changes are going to be because of that. Because losing Bobby Turner is crazy. So we got to talk about that. What are people saying in the chat? My mod squad's doing so well. I'm not even seeing it. Hey, you guys don't have to block people trolling me. Like, I'll just say that. Like, if people are gonna come in and make a comment about me, something that I'm saying, whatever, you guys don't have to block that. You can let that ride. You don't have, like, I don't need, I appreciate it, but I'll take all the feedback. It's fine. You guys don't have to. If someone comes in talking that mess, I'll handle them talking that mess. But I think the big thing with the mod squad, we're looking out for weird spam bots. We're looking for that kind of stuff. Yeah. Tell them. That's what I'm saying. Someone wants to come talk, let them talk. Let them talk. I'll handle it. Hey, same with this too. I get it. But I want to see who's talking. I want to see you talking. I do. Because I want that smoke. It gets me hyped up. I appreciate the squad though. The squad's working. I love that. And then we'll address, and then we'll be like, all right, we'll block him. We'll block him after that. Again, I feel you guys. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, you guys just back me up, and then we'll block him. I want the smoke. I want the smoke. Tell me how awful I am. Tell me how bad my mock draft is. We can do this. So this isn't our first rodeo. All right, so let's get through the mock. Oh, I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys know that. And I appreciate the work that you guys are doing. Mod Squad has been on fire. Mod Squad has been on fire. But there's some smoke that I'd like to handle myself. Exactly. I love it. Because it also gives me an opportunity to like challenge them and challenge their thoughts and their beliefs, because guess what? I believe I'm right more than I'm wrong. All right. Don't want my audio to be cutting out. All right, but let's keep it rolling. So with this pick, Alante Taylor, cornerback out of Tennessee. Now, I see Alante specifically as a big time project. I don't see him as a guy that's going to come in and really do much of anything year one, maybe even year two. But I do see Alante as a guy that can come in, potentially play a role on special teams. He does show an ability to cover. He does show an ability as a tackle. He does show inconsistencies on tape. I think that's one of the bigger things that I've come across is just seems a bit inconsistent at times. I was agreeing. I kind of was thinking the same exact thing, because he gets caught in his back pedal. So when he's backpedaling, let's say he's man coverage, and you have a wide receiver pushing him for a post, and then they chop it down and turn it into a dig route. Like you can see his hips and like the like suddenness to play in the twitch needed. So I feel like at least, or like it's almost like a smooth transition. Like he looks a little lacking. Now I haven't done a full study on Alante. I want to be very clear about that. Very clear about that. Um, but something that I have thought of as well. He does kind of look like a safety, but he could also have a situation where he could develop. I think one of the things that I like most about Alante is that he's got some dog in him. Like I saw that like hunger, that like swag. I like that, and I think you have to have that as a cornerback, especially in the NFL. And I think that could be a situation where he could use more seasoning um, and things like that. But I like the baseline. I like I like the body language. Uh I think I get the vibe he's a solid guy. And those kinds of guys you can maybe take a shot on if they don't have all the prerequisite intangibles uh and all that kind of stuff. Who's talking crazy? I don't see it. I want some smoke. I'm ready. I'm ready for smoke today, boys. So now we're in the seventh round. So we got the three seventh rounders back to back. I like this guy. I don't know if you guys have had an opportunity to watch Connor Hayward. I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's a fullback, running back, tight end, returner. Um, I don't. I don't know who. I don't know what he is. What is this guy? You tell me though. You tell me what you think this guy is at 6 foot, 230 pounds. At 6 foot, 230 pounds, what is this? What is this man? This guy's 6 foot, 230. Who are you? What are you? Are you a tight end? Are you fullback? Are you a halfback? Are you a wide receiver? Dude, I started to put on the tape. He's running out of the backfield as a running back. And not for one play, two play, like they were using him as a running back. And like his skill set from just a pure vision standpoint as a runner, I was like, oh my goodness, that boy got cuts. He could literally be he could be a running back. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy can be a running back. And they just showing him play after play after play, taking snaps at running back. And then I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And then they cut, and he's returning kicks. He's returning kicks and doing well. And then you get the highlight reel of the catches that this guy makes. This dude knows how to high point the like. I don't know what he is, how the league is going to slot him, what they're going to do with him. But I said in my mock draft, like, if you look up football player, this guy should be next to the definition. Like, his photo should be right there because, like, I mean, look at his body. Like, what is he, man? What is he? Exactly. Why is he built like Eddie Lacy? I don't know. I don't know, but I think that's why it's so intriguing to me. I think this is a great point. Could be that kind of X factor fullback juice 2.0, tight end disguised as a fullback. He plays running back. I mean, H back is a perfect way to describe him. But he is a hybrid boy. He's a hybrid thick boy. There's not a lot of times when you come across a hybrid thick boy. And I think that's why he's one of my favorite players. I I think that's why he's one of my favorite players because he's a hybrid thick boy. Clip it, cut it, send it. Clip it, cut it, send it. I like I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Kenneth, relax. I'm gonna sick the mod squad on you, Kenneth. No arguing. No arguing with my Dylan. No arguing with my Dylan. We can disagree. We can agree to disagree. But be careful with my Dylan. He is tender and needs to be protected. And he is protected by the SDS. Ken, you're good, bro. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You can have different opinions. You can have different opinions. You can have different opinions. You're safe here. You're safe here. But we also protect Dylan. Yes, and the name calling part. When you start getting personal, it's a little bit different. But back to the conversation. I like him. Hybrid thick boy. Let's go. It's a new position. We're not calling it H back anymore. We're calling it HTB. We're calling this HTB. This is the hybrid thick boy position. So it's a new position. Welcome to the hybrid thick boy segment. You've entered at a great time. So we have just developed a new position that doesn't exist in football. We've heard about the H backs. The wide back with Deebo Samuel. Well, this is the HTB, hybrid thick boys. Hybrid thick boys who can do it all. Hybrid thick boys who can high point. They can run as a running back, returner. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Hybrid thick boy. The 49ers are going to need a quarterback. We know this. Jimmy Garoppolo will not be on the roster, hopefully, in the coming weeks because he gets traded. The 49ers have 3 picks lined up in a row at the very end of the draft. I just went with quarterback Jack Cohen out of Notre Dame. From a skill standpoint, like he's very average. Not ultra athletic, but he can make layered throws. He can. He can. It's all right. But this pick right here, GD5 says, I like Jack Cohen in the East-West Shrine game. Not super mobile, but a good, accurate arm. It's exactly what it is. You're getting a guy who can make throws. He's not gonna do anything crazy for you. JC on a tear right now, and he's killing it. He called first one he said was what? Punter arms? My goodness, go easy on the man. Go easy on him. But you're low key not lying. But yeah, he's a camp arm. That's it. This guy we're drafting, he's not going to be third string. He's going to be fourth string. He's going to be the camp arm. 49ers typically bring 4 quarterbacks into training camp. One of them, camp arm. Like, we give it to this guy. He can be accurate. So I like it. What was Amateur saying? Oh, this is Amateur Draft Scout. Essentially breakdown of traits, or I guess measurable traits for Jack. He says, man's got Joe Montana legs, Jerome Bettis stomach with punter arms. Oh my God. Could you imagine a Mr. Potato Head like quarterback action figure like that's like that? That is insane. Amateur went for the jugular on that one. He wasn't holding back. He was like, you know what? I see the chat getting a little spicy. I'm gonna get spicy too. JC said, "Man's built like SpongeBob." But again, camp arm, it's needed. This guy though, this guy. Has anyone watched him? Has anyone watched Devin Tompkins out of Utah State? I'm very intrigued. Jokes are welcome here, by the way. Sarcasm and satire go well here. Um, this isn't sarcasm, though. Have you guys seen this guy? I'm asking. I want to know if anyone, because I think I think this guy might be a player. I don't want to get hit with the copyright. So let me try to fast forward a little bit in a thing that doesn't look like a total broadcast angle. All right. No, that's broadcast angle. So I'm going to scrub it a little bit. This catch that this guy makes, and again, this is one of many. This dude put over 1,700 reception yards last year. This dude put up over 1,700 reception yards. And again, the reason why I want to show this particular play is because I think you can identify multiple traits with this one play. Again, ball tracking, huge. Again, the ball wasn't thrown to his upfield outside shoulder like where he was running. He had to track it over his shoulder like a center fielder. He's able to track it, dragging the foot the entire way, locate it, catch it, snag it, get it tucked, secure, touchdown. Like, so he's at the end of the draft. I was like, oh, he's literally the last ranked player on PFF's board. And, I'm just like, I don't know who I'm going to pick. There's like, who am I going to pick? So I picked this guy and I started to I looked at him and then I picked him. But once you kind of dive into it and you see like, oh, this guy had 1,700 reception yards last year, and you start to dive into it and you start to see what, oh, like this play, it's pure, like he beats the dude deep. They had a little miscommunication, but he gets deep. You see him beat guys deep with consistency. You see him do it in space. You see him do it like, I'm like, who is this guy? So, I mean, he's going to be someone, yes, 102 receptions, 1,700 reception yards out of Utah State. In, I believe it was 12 games, I think. Let's double check. Let's look at the whole stat sheet because, like I said, the production, then how he goes about getting the production. I was like, who is this guy? And I like him. He's going to be someone that I'm going to be paying attention to tomorrow at the combine. I want to see like who he's small. He's 5'8". He's 5'8". Again, this is going to be the big thing. He's 5'8", 155. Oh, well, that's probably why no one's heard of him. He's 5'8", 155. But again, my favorite thing before someone jumps into the chat and says he's too small. He's too small. You either play or you can't. You either play or you can't. This guy can play. For reference, he's the same exact size as Richie James. He is the same exact size as Richie James. So we've had that guy. We have had that guy on our roster. Literally, they are almost literally identical size. Cap, you son of a gun, you blocked. Just kidding. Just kidding. But that's going to be the big thing. His size. What is he really come in? Is he really 5'8" or is he 5'6"? I don't know. That's going to be the biggest knock is his size. But again, the production, again, he only played 4 games in 2020. Obviously didn't do much in that, but when you look at his sophomore year, he put up 40 receptions, 536 yards, 4 touchdowns. Seems pretty reasonable. But in 2021, as a senior in 14 games, he put up 102 receptions, over 1,700 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. I'm just saying. You can't fake that production. You can't fake that production. You can't. Again, you can either play or you can't. Not everyone who's 5'8" can play in the NFL. That is a fact. But there are very specific players that are 5'8" that can absolutely play in the NFL. That's why we scout. Not everyone's created equal. Not everyone is built the same. You can either play or you can't. And I see a guy who can play. So I'm very intrigued by this guy. Again, he's not going to be breaking through like measurables. Oh, he's super tall. But again, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? I'm looking for a positionless player who's explosive, can catch the ball, can move well in space, has the toughness and the tenacity. You get this guy in the 7th round, and you can move him all around your offense, whether it's in the slot, in the backfield. He can be a returner for you. I'll take it. I like it. I don't mind that he's 5'8". I really don't. Again, I don't, because you look at Richie James. Richie James was 5'8". And unfortunately, before, Richie James kind of flamed out, that wasn't stopping him from doing anything. It means he wasn't stopping him from doing anything. And this is exactly what you see. Great observation based on just the stat line. 102 receptions means he can get open more often than not, and that's exactly what you see. That's exactly what you see. This is the No Corners mock draft, and you are gonna like it. But that's the mock. I liked it. I like who I came away with, and what I like most is that I didn't put a cornerback in until the 6th round, and we got people fired up. Because you know why? That's how you know it's mock draft season. If people aren't yelling at you about your mock draft, then no one really cares about your mock draft. So I think like early on, like maybe a couple years ago, I'd really want people to like love my mock drafts. Love my mock drafts. Please don't say bad things about it. But I've realized there's always going to be people who are going to not like your draft. But if they don't like your draft or your mock draft, they just move on with their lives. It's the people who get real hyped up about your mock, who you selected and what you picked, who you didn't pick. That's how I'm like, yeah, I'm doing something right. I'll take it. I'll take it because I know my vision. I know my vision for how I built this draft. And it's lock solid. So if you don't like it, I'll take it. I love it. Detail said, if you would read your DMs, I've been hyping your mock. You've been okay. Let's find out. Let's find out if Detail's really been hyping. We're gonna put you to the test, Detail. We're putting you to the test. Where are your stinking? God, it's buried. Oh, there it is. You have been hyping it up. Detail's been hyping up the mock. You love to see it. You love to see it. Arnold. Ebukati supremacy facts. Hey, shout out Detail, by the way. Shout out Detail. I admittedly late onto the scene with the scouting, and I believe it was Detail who posted a clip of Ebukati, and I talk about it all the time. Actually, Detail. I talk about that clip that you posted in your story all the time because I get flashes from guys like where I'm like, oh, like I see like 2 or 3 plays, and I just like I can get a baseline trait like analysis from someone. I see like him do like 3 plays, and detail posted it, and I was like, who is that? Who is that? He's a real dog. He's a real dog. Ebukati. Whoo. Stonks. Stonks, baby. Thank you. Thank you if you do like my mock. We appreciate you guys. Dylan says he likes my mock. Oh. Oh. Love my mock. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's so sweet. But that's the mock. Now let's talk about people not in my mock. Let's just talk about prospects that you guys want to see, that I want to see at the combine. Who are some prospects that you guys are looking forward to at the combine? I think JC asked earlier, am I going? I am going. I will be traveling all day tomorrow. So I don't know what the live schedule will look like. But I will be traveling all day tomorrow to Indianapolis for the combine. I imagine you might see me live maybe around like 7 or 8 at night later, but it's going to be later. It's going to be a late draft. Okay. Oh, Marquise Hayes. I'm assuming Jason wants to see Hayes. Daddy Dotson from Dylan, who we got in our followers mock draft at 93, which would be crazy. Marcus Jones, cornerback out of Houston. He's got some tenacity to him. Matt Ryan. Kyer Elam. Detail's been all over Elam since jump. He's actually like sliding down boards. I forget who it was. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah, but I think Kyer fell quite a bit in his top 50 ranking. We'll see. Yes, sir. We out to the combine. Let's go. So I've heard about this guy a lot. Who is this? Tyreek Woolen? So you guys were talking about him last time. Tyreek Woolen? He is from. Ooh, I like it. I like when people are talking about people that come from schools that you wouldn't anticipate. So he is from University of Texas, San Antonio. Let's see. What does he stat out at? He's 6'3". He's 6'3", 205. Ooh, 6'3". So he's a big boy. NFL comparison is Kevin King. All right, I'm going to have to look at that guy. 6'3". All right, I'm going to have to look at that guy. Romeo Dubs, 6'2" with crazy speed. He is, I believe, Carson Strong's number 1 wide receiver out there in Nevada. This guy has no Jerry Rice jersey. What a peasant. But he has Trent Williams jersey. Oh. This one's late, but I kind of want to roast. See, I think like this is why I don't want you guys to like mod out these comments because I think these comments are fun. Like someone is like sitting at their computer right now and they're like watching me talk about the 49ers and they're like, look at this doofus. He has a Trent Williams jersey and he's got a Diamador Lenore jersey. What a doofus. What goes through people's heads? Honestly. What goes through people's heads? What do they think of? Like what are they like when they type something in and they're like, ooh, look at this doofus. He's got a Trent Williams jersey, but no Jerry Rice. You have no idea what jerseys I have, my friend. You have literally no clue. There's a jersey there that you can't see. There's like 3 or 4 jerseys over there that you can't see. Show the Shaq jersey. The Shaq jersey's hanging up right there. Like, let's go, my boy. Brandon Katz, no idea who you are. But welcome and thank you for calling out the fact that I don't have a Jerry Rice jersey. I just have a Jerry Rice signed photograph, though. I guess if you have the Jerry Rice signed photo, it disqualifies you as being a fan. Apparently. You can't have the autograph, Jerry. You can't have the autograph, Jerry. You need the jersey, or else you're just not a fan. What a bozo. What a bozo I am. My mistake. My mistake, my friend. I will get a Jerry Rice jersey just to make you happy. Just so hopefully one day you can see me and, you know, you'll be like, oh, he's a real fan. Cool. That's what I want. That's what I want at the end of the day. All right, I'm back. I'm back to seeing who you guys are talking about. Justin says, yo, I'm so serious about Leo Chanel Test. I've seen that name. And I'm going to remember it from Justin, too, if he does test well, because I've seen that name popping up quite a bit. This is a guy that I like as well, Martin Emerson out of Mississippi State. He's got that dog that we talk about. He's got that dog that we talk about. Physical defensive back. I like him a lot. Chris Olave. We don't even talk about Chris Olave because I fell in love with Chris Olave when I was scouting Justin Fields at Ohio State. And I fell in love, but it was one of those loves that I knew it was never going to happen. So I just let it go. And I don't think about Chris Olave too much, but he's my guy for sure. But I discovered him, you know, I became a big fan of Olave and Garrett Wilson when I was scouting Justin Fields. Dubes is a beast. Troy Anderson, check him out, Brad. Super versatile. I don't think you're the first to tell me that. I've heard that before. Kobe Bryant out of Cincinnati. Monarch Brown out of Arkansas. That's a new name. I like getting new names. I think it's helpful. Derek Deese, San Jose State, local product, tight end. He looks like a guy too. Let's see, Christian Watson. Let's see. What else do we got? I'm behind if you guys haven't paid attention. Let's see. Kobe Bryant, 6'2", 4'3". Ooh. Curious to see how McCrary and Ebukati test. Not that it matters a ton because I know they're both great players from film. True. This is a guy, Aloha Smitty's been telling me to go check out. Calvin Turner. I got to pay attention. Oh, yeah. We just talked about Devin Tompkins, Bay Area. We just talked about him. Big fan. Big fan of this guy. Again, he's literally Richie James, size-wise. It's almost identical measurables. Jalen Tolbert, the South Alabama wide receiver. Danny Gray, not positive on Danny Gray. I'll speak for Focus and say Jalen P. Is he in here? Is Focus in here? Focus, show yourself. Show yourself. All right. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I had to take care of my friend. Okay. We got back to him. Jerry Rice is the best receiver in the history of the NFL. I can't imagine having Trent Williams' jersey, but not a Rice one up. We probably wouldn't be friends, Brandon, because I think I have more offensive line jerseys than any other type of jersey. So we probably wouldn't vibe very well, Brandon. That's okay. It's okay. Dylan's chilling with 3 cap jerseys. He says you don't have a Rice one up for your video, and your video is about the 49ers. Rice is literally behind my head. See that little? It's literally like he touched it with his pen, and he said Jerry Rice on it. But go off, King. Go off. Go off, King. Oh, more. Yes. You're a fool. How can you be doing a video talking about nothing but SF and have a Trent Williams jersey and not a Rice jersey up? Rice is the best wide receiver in the NFL history. How can you call yourself a fan of the team and cover the team without a Jerry Rice jersey? The blasphemy. So that must mean this man's must go on every single 49ers podcaster's channel and be like, oh, I can't listen to you. You don't have a Jerry Rice jersey up behind you. You don't have a Jerry Rice jersey? Look. More. All right, I'm catching up. So you guys have probably been having fun with this. I'm catching up to Brandon's. I'm catching up to Brandon's comments here. What else? What else we got for Big B? Big Brand. It's absurd. Oh, let's see how much more absurd we can make it. Hold on 1 second. Brandon's not going to like the IU potty. Brandon, I apologize. You're not going to be a fan of the IU potty for sure. I'm probably just going to leave up Ayupati and Trent Williams just for Brandon. Just for Brandon, just for you. But hold on, let me get them all up here for you guys. Don't show Brandon the hearse. Don't show Brandon the hearse. Absurd. Absurd. Hold on. I don't know if he's going to like this one. He's probably going to get real upset at this one. Brandon, trigger warning. Trigger warning, Brandon. Hey, Brandon, guess what? I still don't have a Jerry Rice jersey. Let's go. Let's go. Still don't have a Jerry Rice jersey. Can't talk about 49ers. Can't talk about 49ers, I guess. Oh, hold on. I found this one. Oh, Brandon's going to be real upset. I don't know. I don't know if Brandon's gonna be okay with this one. Hold on one second. We pulled out the Jones-Drew. Jaguars Jones-Drew. Brandon is shaking in his boots right now. Brandon is shook. Brandon wasn't ready. We're done, guys. We're done. We're done. I have to shut down the channel. I have to shut down the channel because I don't have a Jerry Rice jersey. I have a MJD Jaguars jersey though. I have but I don't have a Rice jersey. So technically, can I even have a YouTube channel? I don't know. I think there are questions that need to be answered because I don't think I don't. Does the Bosa signed helmet count? No, that doesn't count. Oh, we got Dante Pettis. Dante Pettis. What other legends? I think this is Dante Johnson. We got Richard Sherman. We got Reuben Foster. We got Kittle. There's Kittle. What other should I just throw all my 49ers stuff? Oh, he's gonna be real triggered when he knows I got a Dante Pettis signature and no Jerry Rice jersey. Whoo. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's okay though. It's okay. He's not here anymore, is he? I think he saw that really take a turn on him. But see, this is a great example of why, like, it's okay. It's okay to like leave some of these trolls out here because we will make an example of them. 100%. I would like to smoke, and I'm glad we had that conversation and we left this one right out because we got to have a lot of fun with a stinky old troll named Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon Katz, for your feedback. Uh, we have uh, we have filed that into the file of IDGAF. Stands for something very important. Um, but we'll go ahead and we'll file that into the IDGAF file, and I don't know. Maybe we'll add the Jerry Rice. Maybe we'll get Brandon back over here if we get the Jerry Rice out. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. That was nice. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That was fun. Good stuff. Great stuff. So see, there's a perfect example of why we let some trolls, especially if they want to come at your boy. We let them ride out a little bit. We see what their vibe is. Nothing better than flipping a troll. I will say that. Nothing better than flipping a troll. When they troll and they come in thinking they're about to do something, and then you troll them back, and they're like, "I've been out trolled. I actually like this guy." That's right. I don't have Mike. I need a Carl Malone jersey. I got my Draymond over here. My Draymond jersey is hurt, so I didn't even show it. I still got other I didn't even have all my jerseys out here. But that was fun. That was fun. Uh Obviously completely derailed what we were actually talking about. Uh but what else? What else we want to talk about? What else? I have I think I have 3 Currys, 1 Draymond. I have a Keenan Allen jersey. Oh, do not tell Brandon that I have a Keenan Allen jersey signed by Keenan Allen. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Do not tell Brandon that I have a signed Keenan Allen jersey, but no Jerry Rice jersey. He might lose it. I can't believe someone really tried to clown me for having a Trent Williams jersey. Never would I have thought the day would come where I'd just be doing a live talking about 49ers football, and someone would tell me how absurd it is that I don't have a Jerry Rice jersey up, but I have a Trent Williams jersey up. Brandon. Brandon. Oh yeah, good point. We have a lot we still have stuff to talk about. We still have some stuff to talk about. Bobby T. Also with Bobby T, this is a great question. Eric says, "Why isn't Kyle going to the combine?" You know, I don't know if these two things are correlated, but I so again, we're going to run this through this weird brain of mine, and we are going to talk about, like, is there something to this? Because when you go down the list, offensive coordinator is now the head coach for the Miami Dolphins. Okay, that's a clear um, upgrade in position, so that's not crazy. Okay, but then you get the wide receiver coach, Wes Welker, take a wide receiver coach job, so it's a bit of a lateral move. You see the tight end coach leave and take the same role that he held with the 49ers. Again, 2 very glue guys from what this team is so far. Not a lot of exodus on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, 2 assistant offensive line coaches. You had the quarterback coach take over the OC job for Kentucky. Now we find out Now we find out, oh, we're close. We're close. Get us to 150. We're 12 away. We got enough people in there should be able to get to 150 real quick, which is our original goal. So please get me a Rice jersey. But to the whole situation with the coaching staff, it is something to scratch your head at. Like, you know, optics are always going to be something that's discussed. How does something look? Again, we don't know what's going on, so we're speculating. The optics, with Bobby Turner not coming back now, they're trying to say it could be surgery related, as it's been something like that in the past. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see one, kind of the coaching changes and shifts, outside of McDaniel. I think the John Embry thing was the biggest thing for me. And again, for the people that I talk to and that do have the insight and that are around it all the time and know what's going on, that was, I think it was a surprising move to a lot of people. The whole John Embry thing, I think it surprised people. And again, it's kind of, I feel like everything that we're seeing kind of feels in that realm of maybe there is something going on. Maybe there were some people that got upset last year with the situation between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo internally. I know there's been rumors, and there's been plenty of rumors. But there might be something to that. So we'll see. We'll see, because one of the things with Kyle that's always been fascinating is he's going to keep people around him that he trusts, has working experience with. And we've seen a lot of those people get hired for other jobs or leave for other jobs. So it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? We're still waiting for a quarterback coach. We're still waiting for the official word on offensive coordinator. We still need a wide receiver coach. We still need assistant offensive line coaches. There's a lot of open things going on around the 49ers offensive coaching staff that still is in flux. So breaking news. Brandon Katz never questions or talks to a Niner fan ever again. Oh, I don't think Brandon was ready for that. I don't think Brandon was specifically ready for the smoke that went his way. But that's funny. That's funny. Can Kyle talk Tom Rathman out of retirement and returning as our running backs coach? I wouldn't be opposed to it. Tom Rathman was our coach. Tom and Gore have a fantastic relationship. Ooh, wait till the fan base starts throwing around the idea that Frank Gore could return as a running backs coach. That would be wild. That would be wild. And especially because a reunion, fans want the reunion to happen. And so maybe he comes in a quality control coach. I don't know. Coaching is just so much different, though. It's so much more work than I think people anticipate. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's not only what you're executing every day, but it's the preparation to be able to do what you execute. I don't know. But Tom Rathman, he was the running back coach before Kyle took over. Clearly, Kyle wanted Bobby Turner to come in, and they made the switch. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. Um, but it is going to be interesting to see what they do with Anthony Lynn in the building. Clearly, former running back, has that pedigree, um, has a situation that potentially could, you know, dictate a little bit more like what he wants to do. So it's going to be interesting. I really don't know. I don't know how they're going to backfill these positions. Again, like there's a lot, and we're starting to see, if you look across the league, um, all these coaching positions have been filled, um, and it appears Kyle still has some work to do. And so, as it's been reported from Matt Mayoko, Kyle Shanahan, and his coaches won't be at the scouting combine, so they won't be there on site. Um, do I think that's necessarily a huge thing? Honestly, not really. I think one of the most valuable things that you get from the combine is the ability to meet with these players in person and catch that vibe. Try to figure out who they are. Are they hungry for football, or is football a means for them just to earn and make money? And there's two different types of players that come out of that, but you can only figure that stuff out by sitting with them, interviewing, and trying to find out. Um, so he won't be there to do that, but maybe it is just an opportunity. Maybe it is just an opportunity for Kyle to maybe step back, maybe take his hands. I think what Kyle found appealing about this job is kind of the full control and the ability to do what it kind of pick and choose who he wants, what he wants, when he wants. But part of that too is we haven't seen it be completely successful. So maybe there is a situation that exists where Kyle's taking a step back. Maybe. I don't think it's out of a range of possibility, especially if he's still building a staff and still trying to put together a staff. It's hard to do both at the same time. It's hard to put together a staff and scout new players at the same time. So if they just divide and conquer and they go, all right, you know what? We have a personnel scouting staff. Adam Peters and your team, just go do the draft. Go manage the draft. Go do it. Go take care of it. I'm going to build out the rest of my staff. You're going to give me the reports. You're going to give me all the insight, and we'll work through it. Maybe there's a situation that's kind of evolving where Kyle maybe is taking more steps back. Maybe not being as involved as he has been. Again, he was a huge player last year. And you could look, again, I talked about it in January of last year. I said if they go out and they get another quarterback and they keep Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster, they are headed towards problems. I said that in January of 2021. This is when they're going after Deshaun. But thinking it through, I wanted a rookie at the time. So thinking it through that lens, I was like, if the 49ers add a rookie quarterback in the first round and they keep Jimmy Garoppolo, that is going to cause problems. Why is it going to cause problems? Because people have Jimmy Garoppolo's back in that locker room. And when you bring in another quarterback, you force people to choose. It's human nature. Guess what? The locker room chose Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think that kind of backfired on Kyle a little bit. I think that kind of backfired on Kyle. I'm not going to lie to you. I believe that the quarterback situation with Jimmy and Trey just really just blew up in Kyle's face because Kyle clearly was ready to move on from Jimmy. Kyle wanted a new quarterback. He wanted Stafford. He wanted Watson. He wanted Darnold. He wanted Flacco. He wanted Bridgewater. He wanted literally anyone possible. And ultimately had to land with sticking with Jimmy Garoppolo. But when they stuck with Jimmy and they drafted the rookie, the locker room gravitated to Jimmy. I think coaches may have gravitated to Jimmy. I think, I don't know. I just think like last year was intense. You know, they were doing the pro day tours. Remember, Kyle's out in front of all that. So I don't mind him taking a backseat. I don't mind him saying, you know what? I got plenty of work building out my staff. We have a personnel department. Go do your jobs and report back, just like any other kind of situation. So I'm not going to lie. I think Kyle got over his skis last year. Big Kyle fan, big fan of him as a coach. But I think he got over his skis last year. And again, I saw it coming. So I'll give myself, I guess, a pat on the back for that. But it wasn't the outcome that we wanted. It wasn't the outcome that we wanted. Is my mic going crazy? Apologies. So I don't mind him. I do think there is some truth to that because if you go back to earlier reports, there was reports that there was some issues created. I think between McDaniel a little bit and LaFleur, because if you guys remember, LaFleur was on the used to be with Kyle. McDaniel had a brother that was with Kyle. McDaniel, that was on the 49ers staff, joined Green Bay's staff. But of course, McDaniel, our McDaniel, stayed to be, took over the OC eventually. But the reports that we heard were, when Kyle reached out to LaFleur reached out to Green Bay, I should say. I don't think it was to LaFleur. I think he went above LaFleur, went straight to management and asked them about a potential trade for Aaron Rodgers. We heard that. We heard those reports. They've been talked about and released. But the report that came along with that is that it rubbed LaFleur wrong. It rubbed McDaniels wrong. And there's some tension that was caused from that situation back in May or April. So do I think there's some other things going on? Yes, I do. Do I know what they are? No, I don't. Do I think this is just purely, coaches are getting new jobs? Partly, but not 100%. So I'm fine with Kyle not being at the combine. Perfectly fine. Probably better at this point. I think Kyle's got some little soul searching, just a little. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the coaching staff. So that's something that needs to happen. That's something that still needs to be developed, and we'll continue to follow. But tomorrow we will hear from John Lynch. John Lynch will be speaking to the media, I believe, around 10 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. I might be on a flight to Indy at that specific time, so we'll see how that all works out. We'll see how that stuff works out. But we'll hear from John Lynch tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions or conversations. Oh, interesting. This from Jordan Schultz of ESPN. He said Steelers and Commanders are both highly intrigued by Jimmy G. Okay, whatever that means. But so we'll see what happens for tomorrow. Shout out to Squad if he stuck around. This was a long one, went over 2 hours. Grab your cookies there at the end. But I will be back tomorrow. But I probably will be coming to you guys live from Indianapolis at the Combine. I might not be like physically located at the Combine because I'll be getting in late tomorrow night. But I'm for sure going to hop on a live once we touch down and get going in that regard. So I'm excited. I'll see you guys tomorrow from Indianapolis at the Combine. Ooh, boy. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what kind of shenanigans pop off this next week. It's going to be a good time. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll have plenty of draft stuff to talk about. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Shout out Brandon. I hope you're doing well. See you guys.